everyone, it's Kathy and welcome back here to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Some of you may have wondered why I have not done any Christmas in July videos thus far. And the reason for that is I had ordered some of the new Christmas stuff that actually premiered on July the 3rd. I believe it was the 3rd, but I just got my order this past week. It kept saying it was going to be here last Saturday, then it was going to be here Monday, and then it was going to be here Tuesday. I finally got it Wednesday. By the time I sorted through everything and was able to really sit down and play with it, well, here we are, because I did have a couple other projects in the works already. So anyway, even though it is the 20th of July, I want you to know that I am not going to let Christmas in July go by without throwing in at least a couple of Christmas cards. So here we go. This is the Sophisticated Sled, and it comes with dies. Now I pulled some out of here because we're going to use them, but love, love, love this set. I think it has all the elements. You've got a swag, a wreath, some snowflakes, a little cardinal. The ice skates are adorable, and you also get the dies for the ice skates. Not only do you get the one where you can cut out this one, but you get another one that lets you build the skates, and you'll see that when we do our card. The other thing I use is Greetings of the Season. Now, both of these are the online exclusives. Anytime you see a red sticker on any of my items, that is an online exclusive, including the paper, which I totally forgot to put a red sticker on that. So let me do that while we're here. And that'll be one less thing I have to do later. So anytime you see a blue sticker, it's an annual catalog. If you see a red sticker, it is online exclusives. And if you see a yellow sticker, it is in the new mini catalog that's actually current. Now, with that being said, I am going to use a snowflake snowflake sky 3D embossing folder, and this was from last year, and I don't think this has come back, but you can use any snowflake embossing folder that you might have. And if you're like me, you probably got bukus of embossing folders because I love them. This is one, the embossing folders are one thing that I don't usually sell off. I keep those because I love them, and you can always use them. So I'm using this one. If you have it, you can use this. If you don't, you can use whichever snowflake you like, just something with a snowflake. And or you don't have to use it. And you'll see what I mean as we get started with this. So here is our sample card of what I plan on making. I thought this was so pretty, and I just sat here and played with my stamps and my cardstocks and my designer series paper, and I love the way this turned out. I love those ice skates. Aren't they cute? And I looked for, well, I didn't look really well, but I'm sure I've got some silver um, um, foil that I could do this with. But on this one, I just chose my smoky slate and went ahead and built it. Because again, like I said, this was a prototype. But that's exactly what we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to show you exactly how I got that done. So with all of that being said, let's move our stuff out. We're going to use two ink pads. One is Misty Moonlight, and one is Pecan Pie. And we're also going to be using our Memento Tuxedo Black because we are going to be coloring that swag. So those are my three, I said two, but those are my three ink pads that I plan on using. So I'm going to set those over here out of our way. And the first thing I want to show you, my card base is actually a piece, half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I cut it in half. So the other half was over here, and actually, here's my other half. I'll show you. There's the full sheet of cardstock. So I cut it in half at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inside, and this gives me a vertical opening card. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard because I'm going to work each piece as we get to it, and we are going to build this card. So I'm going to bring my scoreboard in, and I'm going to put this all the way up in my top left corner, and I'm going to score this at 4. Oops. I'm so used to doing 4 1/4 at 5 1/2 because half of 11 is 5.5. So this gives us our card base. And the next thing we want to do is we need that white mat that's going to go over it. Okay, there we go. It looked like I had something on that back side. So you know what? That's why paper's got two sides. If one side has a flaw or looks a little ragged, we can just hit with the next one. Now, this is the piece I want to put into my embossing folder, and I'm going to line it up on that registration line, just like that, and I'm going to close it. We're going to run this through the embossing folder, but I'm going to do stamping and die cutting first, so that when we get to that, we'll already have the machine up here. I'm going to go ahead and give this a good brush across the top. And I have a piece of Designer Series paper. It comes from that iconic Celebration, and it is blue snowflakes. And you can see when I put that down over top of the white, it's going to be gorgeous. I'm going to lay that over to the side because the next thing I want to do is some stamping. So we are going to stamp our sleigh or sled right here. And I think for these, I'm going to grab my Misty because this was kind of a solid image, and I want to make sure that I have uh, I can stamp it more than once if I need to. And the Misty is a stamping platform. I'm sure that if you've been crafting for any length of time, you understand what a Misty is. It allows you the opportunity of placing your paper in the same spot and picking up your stamp on this little door. Stampin' Up! Used to have one called a Stamparatus, and they had to discontinue it because of some copyright issues. I will not get into that because it's a little bit of a sore thumb for me, but that's okay. I had a Misty long before I had a Stamparatus, and this is the small one. This is called the Misty Mini, but it's great for card makers. You probably wouldn't ever need anything else because you can get a full card base inside of here. So you pretty much can do whatever you need to do with the small one. And I do have this listed on my Amazon store. If you're interested in getting one, I do get a little bit of a kickback if you purchase this there. So I'm going to use my pecan pie, and I'm going to ink up my sled like that. And then we're going to stamp it. And I'm giving it a good rub, so I want all that ink to transfer. I'm going to do it again because I see a little bit of fading on those solid lines. And I just want to make sure that I get a good solid image all the way across. So I'm going to do that one more time. Usually twice is all you need. Once in a while, if you got bold letters, you might need to do it more than twice. But that looks really good. I'm pleased with it. So now this piece is ready to put our die cut on, and we're going to die cut that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and do the rest of our stamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean this with just a tiny bit of stamp cleaner. Just like that. Get that out of the way. Now I have a small piece of white paper, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it in that bottom right-hand corner, give it a press, and this is going to be for our little swag. And I think the swag goes like this. So it doesn't matter. You could do it, however, because we're gonna die cut this. So I'm gonna close my door, pick up my stamp. Oh, I didn't move my paper that time. That's wonderful. And then we are going to do this one with Memento because we're going to use some alcohol blends. So my Stampin' Blends is what I'm going to use to color this. So I'm going to ink this up and stamp it. I like to do all my stamping at one time. That saves me time from going back and forth. Now that one I didn't need to do it again. It's fine the way it is. So I am going to spray a little bit of cleaner on my cloth and wipe it off. And I'll go back and clean these using my Stampin' Scrub after the video. All right, so that one's done. And we also have a die for it, so I'm going to lay that die with it. And then the next thing that I want to stamp is my little circle that's going to have our message on it. So I'm going to put that right there. This time we're going to need to grab our Misty Moonlight. And this is going to be for our sentiment. And it's just going to say love and joy. And I think I'm going to do it like this. No, I need to do it in the middle because I'm going to use that die cut on it. So I'm going to set it down right about there. And I want to make sure, yeah, that will fit over it good. So now I'm just going to pick this up. And using my Misty Moonlight, I'm going to ink it up. Isn't that beautiful? I'll do it one more time just to give myself a nice dark image. And I believe that is going to be all of our stamping. So let me get my cloth out again. Oops, not the right one. This one's got cleaner on it. And I'm just going to wipe that off. And lay that there. Pull this out. And I believe we are ready to do some die cutting. So let's put our Misty back where it belongs. You know, that's half of the battle of keeping an organized work area. If we could learn, and I say that for myself as well, if we could learn to put things back where they belong as we use them, oh, how wonderful that would be. So I always try to tell my husband that. If you use it, put it back where it goes. My husband's the worst for that. Bless his heart. But anyway, I am going to line that up just like that, and I'm going to use some of my little Post-it flags. These work so good for holding down your die cuts without any chance of ruining your paper. Now I have the laces for my skates. I have my ice skates right here, and I've got my blades for my skates right there. So now I just need to line this up. And there's sticky flag right there on that. And then my love and joy, I'm going to put that in here. Something like that. And we are going to anchor it in place. So I think I have everything ready so we can bring out our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and get everything cut. And it shouldn't be too hard to get all this cut because when you decide to go ahead and do what you're going to do, and this one doesn't go in here. This one goes in the greetings of the season. But like I was saying, once you get everything stamped and everything ready to die cut, then all you have to do is just stack everything to the side. And that's what I'm going to do so I can bring up my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And here comes our big boy. Now I'm going to zoom y'all out a little bit more. Like that so you can see what I'm doing. And let's open this up all the way. I think that will help you see the platforms. And we are going to take our 4 plates. You get a number 1 plate, and all these plates come with your machine. Your number 2 is your die adapter plate. So if you're cutting with the thin dies, you're going to always need that number 2 plate. I have a very worn, very much loved, but not bowed cut plate. I'm going to put that down. And it needs to go the other way because it started to bow in the middle. As soon as mine starts to bow in the middle, I flip it. And then my top cover plate, you can see it doesn't have cuts in it. It's just worn, but it's not cut. It gets flipped every time I use it. So this is how I roll. So I'm going to take this piece and lay here. I'm going to lay this one up here. I think I'll lay this one right there. And this one here. Yeah, if I cut this, I'll have more room. I'm going to take my paper snips and just go right across here like this and just cut that piece off. You know why? That's going to give me more real estate on my cut plate. So now I can move that one up there. I can put this one right here. And let's see if we can get these other ones on here. We can do our skates right here and our laces right there. I think we can die cut everything in one shot. And that's always a benefit because that's saving you some time because you don't have to run, through 3 or 4 different times. You're cutting everything in one shot. And I think whenever you can save time, it's a benefit to you. So that's always my goal when I'm crafting, that I can turn out what I need in a timely manner. And when I do videos with all of you, I like to not hold you here all day. Now there's a die cut. We're done with that. And I'm just going to lay all my dies over here and I'll put those back. This is our little spray. And that's going to go right there. The die there. I like to take my little Post-it flags, and I put them over here on the side of my desk because you can use them more than once. And here's my little skate blades. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to lay them in a safe spot where I'll know where they're at. And here are our ice skates. And they fell out beautifully, so we'll lay those over here with our other die cuts. And our sentiment came out beautiful. And then these are our laces for our skates. And they are so stinking cute. Wait till you see these. And I'm going to take them out just like that. See how little they are? I got to pop out all those little holes. And I'll show y'all that in just a minute. And now we are ready to do, well, we got the machine out. Don't forget, if you got any embossing to do, take care of it next. So I'm going to take my cut plate and my adapter plate off, and I'm just leaves me with my number 1 plate. These plates I don't need because this is a 3D embossing folder. And again, the 3D embossing cover plate comes with it. It's the number 4 plate. I love this machine because you get everything you need to cut, and this thing cuts beautifully the first time, every time. I've never had an issue with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the full-size one. I love it. Now, I am going to be giving away very soon a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it looks like this. I've had it for a while, but it's brand new in the box, and it's a small one like this, and it comes with the plates and everything you need. But I'm giving that away when I hit 5,000 subscribers, and I've got that ready to ship off to the lucky winner. When I make the announcement, so I know you're going to want to know, how do I enter? When I make the announcement that for the giveaway, and it's going to be titled 5,000 member giveaway. And all you have to do is go in on that video and make a remark. Just make a remark over maybe my videos, something that you like, or something that you would like to see me do, anything. And once I get those remarks, I'm going to give 1 week for everything to come through, and then I will draw a winner, and I'll have another video that will say winner, winner, chicken dinner. And that'll be where I will award the prize to one lucky person. I wish I had 10 of them to give away, but I don't. So one person will definitely benefit and win that beautiful mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, with all that being said, I wanted to show you what this looks like. Is this not beautiful? See how it starts off heavy up here and it gets less when it gets down here? This I'm gonna make this my top because I think the snow is sometimes heavier when it's coming out of the sky. And of course, some of those pieces melt as it comes through the atmosphere. So then we have a little bit less, and these are the snowflakes that we get. So that has been done. I have all of my pieces now. Everything is ready to put together. So let's go ahead, make sure my card's going in the right direction, like so. And then this piece is going to go down here first. I want to make sure I got this nice and straight, like that. And we're going to put this on, and I'm just going to use some liquid glue. Now, I have a lot of people that ask me about the glue gun that I use. Now, this is not hot glue. It comes with empty bottles, and I use my own glue inside the bottle. It does come with one bottle with glue, which is the Nuvo glue, and it's an okay glue. But I changed out, and I put my art glitter glue because it is my favorite into my glue gun. But this is put out by the same person that makes the Misty, my sweet petunia. And I'll tell you what, this thing is fantastic. I use it all the time. It is well worth the money. I've seen different reviews on it. Some people don't get the height. For me, it's another one of those time savers because you get this little holder that you put your glue gun in. You don't have to search for a pen. It has a silicone tip down here in the bottom that your pen of your glue rests against, so it kind of self-seals. It also has a place here that holds the top to your glue bottle so you don't lose it. So I love this thing. I am going to see about getting a link for it in my Amazon store. So that way you can go directly there and I'll get a little bit of a kickback. Right now, I got mine from May Made It. And you can go there and purchase it as well. But I am going to try to get a link for it so that you can actually go there and get it. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put this down. Now this piece, well, let me go back. The white piece is 4 by 5 1/4 embossed. Then I have a 3 by 4 inch piece, so 3 by 4. And we are going to pop this up on dimensionals. I want dimensionals because I want to give it a little bit emphasis by having it pop up. So I'm going to put one on each corner, and then I'm going to do a little bit of fill in around the edges. So I'm going to come down to about here, and I'm going to come up to about here. And then I think I'm going to do one. I know you're probably thinking that's way too many dimensionals, but I don't want this to fall off, and I want it to have enough of stability so that it sits like I want it. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. Anytime I've got a lot of backers to take off, this is just a much, much better way for me to deal with this and to do it. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Just like that. And then I'm going to turn this over. And you want to set this down in the middle as best you can. You can measure it or eyeball it. I'm going to eyeball it. Like that. Then we're going to put our sled, and I'm going to pop it up as well. Right about here. And here we go with our dimensionals again. I'm going to put one here at the top and 2 down here at the bottom. And I do like to balance things out, so I'm going to put one on each side. And maybe one right here. And you got these little bits and pieces. Oh, I still got a couple down here. But you got bits and pieces. You can always cut that up. Don't waste them, because you can definitely use them. Let's do with this again. I think this just gets them off a lot faster. It wrangles them up so that they're all in one spot and you can put them in the trash can that way. So I'm going to take this and sit it down right about there. Now let me show you about these little skates. They are too stinking cute. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and I'm just going to poke out those little pieces. And they come out really easy because the die cut machine just does such a wonderful job. Now we have a slot in our skate, and these will fit into your little slot just like that. So when you put them together, they look like they've been laced. Is that not the cutest thing you ever seen? I thought Stampin' Up, that this is ingenious. So they think of everything. And all I have to do is just get to play with all their wonderful stuff. So if you've ever thought about, being a demonstrator, and you don't have to do what I do, you don't have to sell. You could come in as a hobbyist. All of my girls that are under me are hobbyists. But if you wanted to make a little extra money, then you could sell it. Do you have to make videos? Nope. You could sell to just friends and family. Or you could try to build your business and have a YouTube channel. Totally up to you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these skates together, something like that. So cute, and they look like they're hanging. And if you noticed on this card, they are hanging, and it looks like they're hanging by the laces. I didn't have the bubble bath, and that's what this color is. The bubble bath is the pink. So what I did is I took a piece of white baker's twine, and I used my bubble bath Stampin' Blend, and I went over it. And I'll show y'all how to do that in just a minute. We need to put on our little blades. So let's go ahead and get some glue on the back of these. And this can be just a tiny bit tedious, but it's doable. So I'm going to sit that down, oops, like so. And let that dry. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. We're going to put it down just like that. So I'm going to hold it upside down and put some glue. Just on those back pieces. And of course, you're going to get it on your fingers, but that's okay. You can always wipe your fingers off with some hand sanitizer, an alcohol wipe, which I keep alcohol wipes beside me for such things. And there's your blades on both your skates. So I'm going to wipe my fingers with one of my alcohol wipes. These are just baby wipes, and what I do when I get a pack, I open it up and I pour about a half a bottle of rubbing alcohol. They make great cleanups for so many things, your tools, everything. All right, so we've got this all done. This is going to come off of the top right about here, but we need to make sure we get our skates where they need to go first. They're going to go together about like that. But we need to color our little dooflaunchy here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my dark real red, and I want to go in with the bullet tip and just hit all of my holly berries. So just like that, I'm just going to tap the color onto it because they are very easy to color if you just dot the color in. It gets a little bit tedious if you try to color them because this is alcohol ink and it's going to bleed out. It will bleed out into other portions of the hard if you put down too much. So just a tap, tap, tap will color those in. And if you notice, I'm doing the smaller areas first, and there's a reason. It's very easy to go over top of these little small areas with your other inks, like your greens and what have you. So it looks like I missed one right there. I think I got them all. So now we're going to come in with some greens, and I've got two shades. I've got Old Olive and I've got Shaded Spruce because I think these two colors together really look very Christmassy. So I'm going to go in with my light shaded spruce, and I'm going to do this middle leaves first. And whenever you're coloring, I'm not going to do a lot of shading on these. I just want to color in the leaves. Right now I'm going to come back in with my dark shaded spruce, and I'm going to come right around the edges of some of the leaves and hit the vein in the middle. And then we're going to come back with the white and just kind of blend everything out. And you'll be surprised that just that little bit will give you some shading that you didn't think you needed. Just like that. Now I'm going to take my light real red and I want to go in and color my bow. And I'm going to color the entire bow red. So make sure you get your tails as well. And like that. And it looks like we got all of that bow done. Now I'm going to go back with the dark red, and I'm just going to hit like inside the bow, the knot, in here. Just to give it a little bit of definition. Then I'm going to go in with that Old Olive, and I'm going to start out with the dark. And I'm going to do a couple of leaves that's up against the red. Maybe a little bit down here. I'm going to alternate back and forth between the light and the dark. Something like that. And then I can go back with the dark and just hit a little bit here and there. Oh, Of course, I dropped that marker on me. Thank goodness I got on an old shirt. All right, so now this is ready to attach to our sled. So I want to pop it up on some dimensionals. So I'll probably need to grab another pack of dimensionals. I guess I'll use those because I can get away with these little bits and pieces. And maybe even one of these that can go down the middle. So we're going to put this one right down the middle. And then I'm going to put one right there. Maybe one right here. And pop those off. And then let's hang that beautiful spray right there. Tap it down. And now we need to work with our skates. Well, for my skates, I need my mini dimensionals. Let's see. I had some up here. Got a small pack right here. So what I want to do is I want to have the skates like this, but I don't want them to be right on top of each other. So I'm going to put a mini dimensional right here. And then I'm going to sit this skate over top of that. And see how that's going to give some lift between the skates. And I'm going to take a piece of white baker's twine. You don't need a big piece. You only need maybe about 6 inches. And I'm just going to cut it. Yeah, I got ink on my fingers right there, but you know what? It'll be fine. It'll wash off. All it takes is to go and do a sink of dishes, and the next thing you know, the ink is gone. All right, so let's take this. I'm going to take a scrap of paper, and I'm going to lay this down, and I'm going to take my bubble bath, and this is the dark, and I'm going to use the brush tip, and all I want to do is go along here and color that piece of, so pretty. I love this pink. The bubble bath, I think, is my favorite pink. The pretty in pink is pretty, one of the new in colors, but it is totally a different shade. This bubble bath is almost like a pretty baby pink. I love it. All right, I think that gives us pink enough. I'm going to bring it up to the top, and I'm going to tie this because I want it to look like a little bow, not really a bow, but just a loop bow. And we are going to loop that around. I'm going to pull it. And then I need to knot it again. This can be a little tedious, and if you want to cut a longer piece of twine to make it easier, by all means do that. And then tie it like that. Then you want to pull it so that this part it goes up, and I think I need another dimensional right behind that skate, a little one. So I'm going to insert one using my Take Your Pick. I'm going to take the cover off of it, backer, And I'm going to take the underside of it, like that, onto my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to lay it right underneath there and pull out and then push that skate down against it. That holds the skates a little bit more stable. So I'm going to put this piece right behind here. And to do that, I'm just going to take some glue, put a tiny dot there, and then lay this into the glue. And you may need to hold it just for a second. Like that. And then you are ready to hang your skates up over top of your wreath. So to do that, I'm going to use a glue dot. I'm just going to take a glue dot and I'm going to take it off using my Take Your Pick. So I'm just going to kind of roll it, and then it releases onto the end of my Take Your Pick. And I'm going to put it right here at the top. Like that. And then the knot that I made, I'm going to use that to cover that glue dot and to secure it onto my card. Now, you may want to put something to stabilize your ice skates. If not, they're going to be dangling. I don't know if you can see that. They're going to be dangling like that. So if you want to secure them, this is where I would take another glue dot. And I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to roll it up on the end of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to put it right here behind that skate. And then let the string bring them down. And then just touch it like that. And then to put this piece on, I'm going to come up about like that. And I'm just going to put glue on the back of it. Right here at the top. Just like that. And just tuck this in like so. And there is the front of our card. Now for the inside, I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock. We're going to cut this down because we need it to be 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to put it in. I'm going to line it up to my 4-inch mark right there. And slice. And turn it to 5 1/4. And slice. This is going to be our inside piece, and I'm going to put may your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. Last time I used it's the most wonderful time of the year. I'm going to change this one up just a little bit. And I'm going to take it up to the top just a tiny bit because I want to leave room under here for signing. And I'm not too sure, since this is a brand new stamp, I'm not going to use my Misty to stamp this, because that way if it doesn't stamp well with the first try, it gives us an opportunity to do it again. So let's put that in like that, pick it up. It's back in the corner, and I'm going to follow through by using the Misty Moonlight ink. And give it a good press. That looks good, but since I got this out and I'm going to do it one more time. It never hurts to restamp to get a darker image. Now, as you know, with any of the Stampin' Up! Inks, that will lighten as it dries. Sorry about my cough. They did find out that I have a staph sinus infection, so I am on a very strong antibiotic, hoping that this will clear that up. And hopefully, I do see the heart specialist because I had some irregular heartbeats. Um, my heart beats too fast, is what happens. So I see him on the 7th of August. So hopefully, once I get that appointment through, I'll be on the path of recovery in a big way. So just a little quick update about what's going on with me. And I am feeling better. I am beginning to feel like cooking meals and doing things around the house. So that's always a good thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit this inside my card. I'm just going to use liquid glue. Liquid glue is my favorite adhesive, as y'all well know. Not to say I don't use other things, I do where they're necessary, but I do love my liquid glue. And give this a good press and close. And there are 2 cards, and they look pretty much identical. I think this one I tied my string up a little higher or I cut it shorter, but it doesn't matter. Both of them are beautiful cards, and I think anybody would love to get this little festive card for their Christmas. So I am on my way to starting my Christmas cards, and I could not be more excited. I just want to thank you so much for tuning in today. God bless and keep you. I hope you've enjoyed the making of our first Christmas card for Christmas of 2024. At this point, I just want to thank each and every one of you. Don't forget about the giveaway. It is coming up fast. My channel has grown like crazy in the last couple of weeks, and I want to thank each and every one of you, my longtime subscribers, as well as all of my new people that have joined me. God bless and keep you. I love you guys so much, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Lord and Savior, Jesus. God bless you, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.